What is going on, everybody? The topic of today's discussion is something that is very dear to my heart. Pretty much like every topic we discuss here. It's very important to me personally, and I want you I want you to understand this. Understand this so you can make this happen for yourself. Fitness should make everything in your life better. Your training, your workouts, your nutrition, your daily conduct, your daily activity should make everything in your life better, should make you healthier, should make you stronger and more durable. Not just durable physically, but mentally. Speaking of mentally, fitness should make you smarter. There's research out there showing that heavy resistance training and cardiovascular training makes people smarter, makes them perform better at cognitive tests. It should make your relationships better. It should make you less of a prick, less of an obsessive prick, and more of a man. The things you do inside and outside the gym are critical to who you are as a man. And in my personal experience, the program that I've followed over the last couple of years has made everything better. And I know I'm sounding like a broken record here. I keep repeating myself, but this is so profound to my own conduct and happiness that I want you to understand this. I need you to understand this. Fitness as we know it today is such a superficial complex of BS. It's barely scratching the surface of what it could do, of what it should do for each and every one of us. It's not about being obsessive about your macros. It's not about being obsessive about your gym time, spending hours and hours in the gym every single day to build up your pecs, to build up your arms. That's meaningless, brothers. It's not about prepping your meals a week in advance and then come Friday you're left to eat this dry plastic chicken. But you've prepared your meals, your macros are on point. That's not what I'm talking about at all. You're missing the boat. You're missing the boat. In my opinion, you shouldn't have to deal with these things whatsoever. You should not have to think about your workouts extensively. You should not have to think about your meals extensively. Those things should be side notes. They should be integrated. They should be worked into your day-to-day routine, but they should be mere side notes to what you do and to who you are every single day, to who you are on this planet. It's not about the meals. It's not about the push-ups. Those things are mere tools to make you something more. My program today is effortless. That doesn't mean that it's easy. My workouts certainly aren't easy. Following my nutrition has become easy for me because that's what routine does to you in the end. It makes it easy. It makes it become second nature. But my workouts, getting my daily activity in, it's not always easy. It's pleasurable for me at this point, but it's not always easy. However, once you're on a routine long enough, a good solid routine that serves you, that doesn't take away from your life, that serves you and serves your life. Once you're on that long enough, it becomes second nature. It becomes easy to follow it. Once you have a nutrition regimen that works on autopilot, that delivers results on autopilot, that does not require extensive thinking on your part, my man, it's become easy. It's become second nature. It has become part of who you are. The same with the training. The workouts, the gym time should never define you, should never define who you are. I know I post a lot of workout videos. I post a lot of stuff on Instagram about how I train, my thoughts on training in general, and how I would have you train. My man, that is just, again, a tool. It does not define who I am. It doesn't run the show. I run the show. The routine that I've created for myself runs the show behind the scenes on autopilot. It is currently a little past 1 o'clock here. I'm going to finish up this live training in a little bit, and then I'm going to go work out. Probably a 30-minute session, if that. Then I'm going to pack up my bag, my gym bag. I'm going to go play some soccer because the weather today is absolutely amazing. So there we have a strength workout. There we have a cardio workout. I'm going to do those back to back today on this beautiful Sunday. Why? Because it's what I love to do. It's what made me, in a sense. And then I'm not going to eat. I might have some fruit after my workout, after my resistance training. I might have some fruit, maybe an ice cream sandwich if I'm hungry. And then I'm not going to eat until dinner time. That's where I get the bulk, again, the majority of my calories, 99% of my calories coming at night. I might have, again, a little bit of fruit throughout the day here and there, but again, this routine, it runs on autopilot. Behind the scenes, I don't have to think about these things anymore. And if I finish my strength workout and I don't feel like having any fruit, any ice cream, I won't. I'll head straight to the soccer pitch and we'll play for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll play intensely, and I'll be at my best because my fitness routine, my program has brought out the best in me without me having to think about it at all anymore. Sometimes, rarely these days, I do like to write I have a training journal that I like to keep. I do like to write some stuff in there. And then I do spend some more mental equity, if you will, thinking about my workouts, my nutrition, my goals, thinking about where I am today and where I want to go. That's pretty much the only time that I really use to think about my personal routine, my nutrition, my training extensively. Other than that, it all happens naturally. It happens automatically. And this is what I want for you. And believe me, it wasn't always this way. It wasn't always like that for me. When I used to train at a commercial gym and do what everybody else did, I got so carried away with the details. Which exercise is best for my pecs? Which split is best for muscle building the maximum amount of size I can on my puny, scrawny little body. That was what I was thinking about back then. Today, I don't care. The only thing I think about during my workouts today is how many reps did I produce last month versus today? Can I one-up myself today? Can I do more reps today? Am I better today? Am I stronger today? That's the only thing I think about. It's that competition with myself that keeps training fun, keeps it rewarding, and keeps it productive, keeps giving me the gains that I'm after. As far as my nutrition is concerned, when I first started, again, 4, 5, 6 high protein meals I would consume every day. Do you know how much time I wasted preparing those meals, washing the dishes, putting that shit away? Do you know how much precious time on this planet I gave away to follow a routine that I never enjoyed? and just followed it because people, experts, told me to follow it, good Lord, what a waste of time. Today, what do you know? I don't have to think of my meals at all anymore. I do sometimes, occasionally, especially when I'm about to go out to eat. I do think, well, what am I going to order? Is it going to be the burgers, the tacos? What am I going to have? And that's pretty much it. And then when I'm finished with my meal, I might indulge into some more thinking about my diet, as in, what's for dessert? Ice cream, peanut butter cups, cheesecake. What do I enjoy for dessert? That's as far as my thinking goes in terms of dieting and training these days. Getting stronger in the gym, becoming more durable in the gym. So it's not only about max reps, it's also about how much work can I put in into a limited time frame. How many reps basically of a specific exercise can I do in 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Stuff of that nature, but always with a progressive element, because that keeps my workouts again productive, rewarding, and fun. Fun. I don't want to just go through the motions every time I train like I used to. Like most of you watching this at some point did. Just go through the motions because I gotta get this workout checked off. I don't have a single workout anymore that I just have to check off. I don't care. If I really don't feel like working out, I won't. I won't. I'll eat a massive meal, I'll sleep like a rock, and I'll come back stronger the next day and more motivated. Certainly more motivated. So you got to find something. You got to create a routine for yourself, a fitness routine that makes you stronger, makes you leaner, makes you better, makes you more durable, while at the same time making everything around fitness more enjoyable, more productive for you. This is the whole package. I keep telling people fitness is not a separate event from your life. Your training, your nutrition should be an integral part of your life, an integral part of your day to day existence. And I'm not talking about eating 3 crappy meals every day because it's an integral part of the day and because everybody else do it. No, does it? No, I'm talking about the fact that fitness in and of itself, the routine, the program should make everything better. The way you look, the way you feel, the way you perform, everything should benefit from it. I mentioned relationships earlier. I'm dead serious about it. You will become, once you're accustomed to going through brutal workouts, through going through brutal diets and brutal fasts, you'll become more of a man, more reliable, more capable, stronger inside and out. A rock, a fortress for others. And there's very few people like that in this world, in my experience. There's very few capable and reliable individuals out there. And I'm not saying I'm one of them. I'm not saying I have everything figured out. But there's levels to this. I'm certainly not the same person I was 10 years ago. Certainly not the same person I was 5 years ago. I was a whiny little bitch back then compared to now. And my routine brought me here. And it can do the same for you. You can have it all. And you should have it all. You heard me. You can have the looks, the performance, mental and physical, while having fun, while enjoying the ride every single day. But it's on you to create that, or to look for something that does that, that delivers on those fronts every single day. So Don't sell yourself short with a routine, with a program that doesn't give you what you want, that doesn't give you the results, either inside or outside of the gym, that you truly want. Demand more. Demand more from yourself, from your training, from your nutrition, from your life. Because fitness is part of your life. Whether you're actively involved in it or not, it will always define who you are. To an extent, will always define who you are. If you're a lazy slob, a lazy, fat slob, that's what will define you. Your fitness level will be at 0. That's what will define you. If you're a strong, ripped, badass, that's what will define you to an extent. The difference between the fat slob and the ripped badass can be as little as a workout protocol, as a nutrition protocol. Something that can be seamlessly integrated into your lifestyle. You see what I'm saying here? It's not all or nothing. It's not following something you dread just to get the results you want. It's living a life that produces those things as a side note. It's becoming that person that gets those results on autopilot. Do you get what I'm saying here? It's not about killing it in the gym while hating every moment of it, just to make it to the promised land at some point in the future. That's not what this is about. That's not what my routine is about. That's not what my training, my workouts, my recovery routine is about. Not at all. I want it all, brothers. I want it all. I want the looks. I want the performance. I want people's jaws dropping when they see me shirtless, when they see me bang out 20 plus one-arm push-ups. I want their minds to be blown, but I want them to be inspired. I don't want them to see me as this anomaly, which I undoubtedly am. I am the anomaly because I'm doing something very few people do. Not because it's so hard, not because it's impossible, but because they never get to that point where they follow a nutrition protocol long term, where they follow a workout, a progressive training program long term. This is the fruit of your labor when you're doing it long term, where everything is in line. Looks, performance, cognition, general contentment. We have a question here from Don. How can a vegetarian get lean? Like everybody else, Don, you get lean by either consuming fewer calories than you're burning or by burning more calories than you're consuming. You have to create a negative energy balance. But we talked about this extensively in past trainings, in past live videos. There's a lot of nuance to this. There's a lot of small print to this. You can't just be on a diet long term without ever giving your body a break from dieting. You cannot just follow any diet that you hate long term, because that unquestionably will lead to long term failure and a massive rebound. So there's a balance involved here. Before considering to go on another diet to get lean, you should work on building up your metabolic rate, building up your body to the point where it's at a healthy level. It works. You're eating without restriction. You're moving a lot because you have a lot of energy. You might not be getting ripped doing that, but that will set the stage for a future fat loss phase. Do not, Don, or whoever is considering getting ripped, do not go from one diet to the next. Do not go from one restrictive program to the next. It will cost you. It will cost you quality of life. And in the end, you'll not even get there. It's a lose-lose situation. So before considering another fat loss phase, give your body some rest. Give your body some time off from dieting. Eat better, make better, more educated food choices. Perhaps throw in a fast here and there. But do not jump from one restrictive diet, from one restrictive lifestyle to the next. It will cost you. And you will not get there. You will not get lean. You will not get ripped doing that. And what's the difference between a vegetarian and an omnivorous diet? Hardly any difference. To be very honest with you, I believe you can get tremendous results. I said this on here many times. I believe you can get tremendous results on a vegetarian diet if you have a good amount of eggs and dairy products in the diet as substitute for meats and other cholesterol containing animal foods. If you have those in your diet, I think you'll be just fine. Don't be stupid, however. Don't go vegan. Veganism is a mental illness. Don't do that to yourself, thinking you're going to make the world better. You're only going to destroy your body long term, and you're not doing jack shit for this planet. Veganism is a fake religion, a mental illness. And I'm sick and tired of seeing all these malnourished vegans out there on social media proclaiming that their diet is the best. If it were the best, if it really worked for you, you'd look great. You'd look jacked. And there are a couple exceptions out there. I personally know I've worked with vegan clients. I've made it work for them because when you're vegan, you got to be so much smarter about nutrition. You have to have a solid understanding of how the body works and how nutrition works. But you also have to supplement like crazy. There's so many things, so many micronutrients that you cannot get from a plant-only diet. So you're relegated to supplementing, to swallowing pills and powders and all that stuff. I don't do any supplements. I don't do any powders. I told you this before, guys. My diet is so simple. I always know how much I'm consuming, give or take. How many calories, give or take, because I'm not measuring my food anymore. So I'm just eyeballing portion sizes. But I always have a rough estimate of how much food is coming in. And I make sure that the majority of my diet is healthy, is nutritious, is whole food based, is a good solid balance of plant foods and animal foods. And I do not subscribe to any hardcore restrictive diet. And some of you might say, well, your fasting regimen is very restrictive. Not to me, brothers. My fasting regimen has liberated me. It has liberated me. It has not restricted me. It has given me the freedom to enjoy food the way that I want to, in the amounts that I want, the foods that I want, without restriction, while still moving closer to my ultimate goals. And that's a luxury. I can tell you this is a luxury because I've tried everything before. Every diet you can think of, every program you can think of, I have at least experimented with, and nothing has worked this well for me. Nothing has been as rewarding for me as this diet. You see the thumbnail I uploaded with myself eating ice cream. I love ice cream. And I don't have to think twice about consuming ice cream, consuming desserts, consuming processed garbage here and there, because I have my ducks in order. The majority of my diet, the bulk of my calories that I'm taking in are high quality, minimally processed, earth-grown, real foods. My body has become, over these last couple of years, a blast furnace where I can easily consume 3,000 plus calories every single day without batting an eye and without gaining fat, without having to restrict myself, without having to go on another fat loss diet. This is freedom, brothers. So to each his own, but fasting has made this infinitely easier for me. And I love the fact that I can just get up in the morning, have my coffee, and go about my day without even thinking about food, without wasting any amount of time on food prep, on eating, on washing the dishes, none of that stuff. It has made my life so much easier, so much more fun. It has made eating and socializing so much more fun. Because when you restrict yourself, when you go through a phase of deprivation, by the time you allow yourself to eat again, by the time your mealtime comes around, dinner in my case, you're not just hungry, but you're able to truly appreciate it, to truly appreciate what it means to just sit down with friends, with family, and have a good meal. That's bliss, my friends. That is bliss. And you also become more appreciative of these little things in life with a routine like that. Fasting has made me appreciate the fact that I have food in my belly every day if I choose to. Unless I go on a prolonged fast, I get to eat every single day. Not just that, I get to eat the foods that I want every single day. And not just that, I get to eat the foods that I want in the amounts that I want every single day. That is a luxury. And that is a luxury very few people have. Even in the Western world, they might have access to all the foods at all times, but they're always restricting themselves. They always think, I shouldn't be eating this. Even if they eat it, they might have a guilty conscience. I don't deal with any of that anymore. Fasting has liberated myself from those things. So anytime somebody says fasting is an eating disorder or a mental illness, I gotta chuckle because I know for myself it has done the opposite. It has liberated me. It has given me full control over my diet and over other areas of my life as well. It's not just nutrition, it's not just my abs we're talking about here, it's the whole picture. Fasting has made everything easier and better for me. Just like my workouts have made everything easier and better for me. What do you mean by easier, Victor? I mean my life, my day-to-day existence is easier because I'm so used to going through hell in my workouts. So doing stuff that is challenging for average Joe is not challenging for me. Running around town like a madman, lifting heavy stuff, carrying heavy stuff is not difficult for me. It's a joke. It's a walk in the park. Getting into street fights and kicking somebody's ass is not difficult for me. I don't recommend you do that, by the way, but this is challenging times we're living here in we're seeing here in South America. A lot of violence, a lot of delinquency, and a lot of craziness on the streets. So you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. But these things have become easy for me because my routine is an integral part of my life. And my routine has made everything better. And so should your routine. So should your program. Brothers, this was it for me. I gotta get my workout in. See, I have a question coming in here. Dean Dean says, very cool. I felt this way in college when I did intermittent fasting for the first time a couple months ago, beside the fighting part. Brothers, I do not condone violence in any way. I do not condone violence, and I wish I was more mature about this than I am today. But nobody's gonna get something from me unless I give it to them. You want to steal something from me? You better be prepared to put your life on the line. And I wish I was more mature about this, like I said. I wish I could just be the bigger man. At this point in my life, I have not been able to do that. So I love getting into a scrap here and there. And that's a problem. That can be a problem. So, again, don't get into fights. Don't be stupid. Don't be stubborn like I am. And, but be prepared. Be prepared to go 12 rounds all out if somebody you love is in danger. If you see some injustice happening and you can do something about it. Don't be a cowardly little prick like 99% of men out there. I'm not even talking about the women. I don't want women to get into street fights or fights, period. Men, you pathetic little weasels. If you cannot defend yourselves and your loved ones, you're not men. You're boys. You're children. So don't get into fights, but be prepared for everything. And one final thing I wanted to mention on the intermittent fasting part. Some of you will listen and see my experiences and my results with fasting, and they will think that this is not something that can work either long time, or this is not something I've experienced with fasting. Unlike Dean here, he said he had very similar experiences, but a lot of people tried fasting because it's so big these days. Intermittent fasting, time restricted feeding is so big these days that a lot of people have tried it, are trying it. Here's the thing. The big distinguishing point here, in my experience, is how liberal you are with your eating when you allow yourself to eat. That will make or break your results with fasting. Here's what I mean. You cannot restrict yourself to like a meal or 2 meals a day while also restricting what you're going to have at those 1 or 2 meals. You cannot do that long term. You might be able to get away with it for a couple months, but long term, a terrible idea. Long term, you want to have a routine. You want to have an understanding and a trust for your own body and your cravings so that you can restrict yourself. You can be hard on yourself. You can be hard on your body. But then you also give back. You complete that cycle of deprivation and compensation. This is huge. So when somebody tells me fasting destroyed my metabolism, fasting did this, I lost all my muscle, I lost blah, 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 I know for a fact that they've been too rigid with it. If you do it the way that I prescribe it, you won't have to deal with any side effects. Also, a lot of people asking me, what about hormone levels? Fasting has brought my hormone levels rock bottom. I have not got my hormones tested in the last 5+ years. However, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, intermittent fasting with huge compensatory meals have skyrocketed my hormone levels, have skyrocketed my recovery, have skyrocketed my ability to look, feel, and perform like $1,000,000. It's not even close. So I don't care about tests. I don't care about numbers. I care about results and results only. So if fasting is not working for you, make sure you're not being chronically restrictive. Make sure you're not beating yourself to the ground every single day. Let your body breathe. Let your metabolism recover. Give yourself the freedom to eat as much as you want after those fasting periods. For me, at night, I eat as much as I want. And occasionally, I'm not very hungry. So occasionally, it's not going to be the biggest meal. But I would say 90% of the time, I'm eating 3,000 plus calories in a single sitting, late in the day at night. There's no restriction going on. Again, I told you this before. If I were to restrict myself again, I would be coming into a diet, into a restrictive eating period with a metabolism that is on full throttle, that is burning energy like a blast furnace. And then I can diet while seeing great results without the side effects of metabolic adaptation, without the side effects of dieting, of traditional dieting. Yeah. We got some more messages. Let me just check. So Don says, Don was the kid who asked us. Kid, no disrespect, Don. He was asking about how to get lean as a vegetarian. So he says, yeah, 100% not into veganism. I'm a vegetarian that eats dairy and eggs. Meat protein unfortunately gives me IBS and allergies. There you go. There you go. I truly believe that eggs and dairy are the best protein sources for the human body. That's been my experience. I never feel great when I have like a very high amount of meat in my diet. I just don't feel great. So my conclusion, at least for my body, is that a very high meat consumption is not good for you. Certainly not good for me. So I do love eggs. I do love dairy. Also, I wouldn't recommend you eat 15 eggs every day and a pound of cheese every day, but using those things to supplement your diet, great, great, great options. Even yogurt and milk and kefir, those things are tremendous options, not just to get the amino acids in, but also just as nutrition staples, as they're so loaded with micro and macronutrition. Alrighty then. Appreciate you, Dean. I'll talk to you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I didn't go too off the rails at the end here. I got a little pissed off thinking about some things that I saw on the streets here lately, and just the lack of social courage, the lack of balls that men have today. It sickens me. It sickens me. So that's why I got a little carried away, but never mind. Life is good. Ecuador still is a beautiful place. I love the people here. This has nothing to do with Ecuadorians. You know, like people just lack balls, and I'm sick of it. Don't be one of those people.